What's going on, guys? Lion Trader here, coming to you with another Bitcoin update. Um, so I'm just going to kind of pick up where I left off in my last video. We have this clear impulse wave up here. This is obviously an impulse wave down for an A, put in a B, and now we're coming down for what I believe is a C. And what I want to go ahead and take a look at, for the most part, is not necessarily the Elliott wave count, but the market structure here and the market geometry. So I've been kind of working off of this pitchfork. So that gives us a little bit of structure. So if we're going to keep coming down here, we tag this median line in confluence with the golden zone here. Now we're starting to build a confluent zone of where there's going to be a lot of support for the price. Now, if you've been paying attention and watched the last few of my videos, we've been keeping an eye of this range of this yellow dotted line and this yellow dotted line. As you can see, we hit a high volume pocket here. And this, if we zoom out, as you can see, this has been a very important support and resistance zone, which just so happens to line up with the golden zone, just so happens to line up with the median line. So at the very least, we are going to see this as a point of resistance. I would be very surprised if we just broke straight through it and kept dumping. So at the very least, this is going to be some sort of a bounce zone, whether this is actually a 1-2 and we're making a third here, and this is a 1-2-3, and this would be a bounce zone for a 4 where we sort of move sideways and then finally break. That would make a lot of sense. I'm operating on the bullish bias that this is going to be a 1-2-3 and we go up for a much larger correction. On a larger degree, that's a little bit in question. It's a little bit uncertain because we do have decreasing volume as this correction is continuing. So, this could be an impulsive wave down. One of my friends, Sensei Tutum, if you follow him, is on the bias that this is headed down, but it could go either way. But anyway, let's back to the market structure here. So if you've been watching the other videos, what we've seen is prices come down, touched, pegged it as resistance, it couldn't stay above it. Now we came over here, resistance. Here it is again, it's coming in resistance, break. And then, here you can see that it tagged it, went up, finally broke. Now it became the resistance and so forth. So I'm expecting the same exact thing to happen here. So at the very least, we're going to see a reaction, if not a pivot, and then we go up for higher highs. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Bitcoin. I'm looking for a little bit more clarity, and then I'm going to be laddering in my buys around this zone, and then I'll probably have my stop probably somewhere in here, probably on the other side of this high volume pocket area, a little bit past the 65, because in crypto especially, the market likes to wick past that, even though that would stop out the algos. I would want to be on the other side of this little bit of market structure. But yeah, those are my thoughts. If this is a 1-2, we would be targeting the negative 100, which would bring us up to around the 30, or excuse me, 43.40 price range. And depending on how hard this thing rips, because that would be the 1-2 of the 1-2, we could be targeting as high as 5,000. So we'll just have to see. I know from a psychological standpoint of the market, as soon as we break this high and this high, everyone's going to be screaming, "Oh, everybody, it's going to the moon. We're breaking 20K. This is it. Moon, moon, moon." And that's just not where we are. For this to be the real bottom, you shouldn't be expecting people to be screaming and calling for moon, moon, all new highs. The market psychology, the market sentiment should really kind of flatten out. You really shouldn't see a lot of that bullish bias. So that's kind of where I believe we are, keeping a close eye on it for this next long. And that's it. Thanks. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.